Today we're looking at the latest WNBA trades, team developments, and player milestones. Let's get right to it. The Washington Mystics are fully embracing their rebuild, making some major moves before the trade deadline. They traded Aaliyah Edwards to the Connecticut Sun, getting back JC Sheldon and a 2026 first-round pick swap. In another deal, they sent Brittany Sykes to the Seattle Storm, getting back Alicia Clark, Zaya Cook, and a 2026 first-round pick. Unfortunately, Cook was waived shortly after. Honestly, another reason the league needs to increase their roster sizes. Talented players like this get cut way too often. And with the Storm trade specifically, they're making it well known they're collecting young talent and draft picks. With Shakira Austin, Sonia Citron, Kiki Irfin, and now JC Sheldon, they're building a promising young core. And with all the upcoming changes around the CBA, new deals, and expansion teams, Washington is smartly locking in longer rookie scale contracts. For Seattle, adding Sykes is a great move. They're definitely playoff bound, and Sykes could honestly become another cornerstone piece in Seattle. They're building something special up there, especially after getting Erica Wheeler in the offseason. This already looks like a really good fit with the team. Sykes is already playing in crunch time in her first game as a Storm. They really have a solid core over there. Nneka Ogwumike, Skylar Diggins, and Gabby Williams as their leaders. Players like Wheeler and Sykes will only elevate what those three create on the floor. I'm excited to see how their lineups develop. Brittany will more than likely take the minutes that Lexi Brown and Tiffany Mitchell were sharing. I did really like what Mitchell was bringing to the team, but Sykes just has great energy and great confidence. She's got a decent shot, but she excels at getting to the basket, which will work perfectly with the Storm's offensive scheme, and she's no slouch on defense either. The Storm have promising young talent like Mackenzie Holmes and Ezzie, who can develop now that Alicia Clark is traded. This move really helps them in the playoffs, but they might need another year or two before they're truly contending for the title. Alright, let's talk about the Sun. One of my favorite teams in 2024. They're looking a lot different in 2025. I really like Rivers, and of course they have a veteran star in Tina Charles. Marina Mayberry is a sharpshooter, so she's very valuable on the team, even though she did request a trade right before the season started, which honestly I understand. By getting Edwards, it looks like they're collecting assets. Washington wanted to trade her while her value was peaking, but with everything changing over the next few years, including the sale of the Sun franchise, they could either lock her in as a cornerstone piece or see her walk in free agency. The Sun appear kind of caught in the middle. They have Charles, Mayberry, Bria Hartley, and Lindsay Allen. Everyone else is in their early 20s. It seems like they're just going to let fate decide what their roster looks like over the next few years. Getting over to Dallas, they're definitely moving in a direction, even if they're still figuring things out. I respect them keeping Arike and recognizing Paige as their future. If they can make that pairing work, they could really dominate the league for years. The rumors about trading Arike were just that, rumors, and honestly, they probably wouldn't have gotten fair value for her. The WNBA rarely trades multiple first-round picks, so it would have been either a very complicated multi-team trade or losing her for pennies on the dollar. They likely won't make the playoffs this year, but that's probably okay with the front office. Building through the draft is the smart move for any W team right now. Their plan to build around Paige is solid, and while keeping Arike is great, I'm sure they'll listen if an incredible offer really does come along. Once they picked up Uru, the clock was ticking for Smith and McCowan. They received a 2027 first-round pick from the Aces for Alyssa Smith and ended up releasing McCowan. Trading Smith before she lost value was pretty smart, and the Aces clearly wanted her, giving up a 2027 first-rounder. All things considered, the Wings are making future-focused moves, letting their young players get reps to see who fits best around Paige. It's interesting to look at the Wings now. After Dijonai Carrington was traded, her parting words were concerning, if not telling. The culture does seem a bit off there. With Arike being the franchise player for so long, it kind of falls on her. So it makes me wonder what other coaches and GMs think about her or having her on their team, because her greatness really hasn't equated to winning, so there may not be a move outside of Dallas for her, even after the CBA changes. Now, looking at the best move before the trade deadline, that has to go to the Lynx, who managed to pick up Dijonai Carrington in an absolute steal. They traded Diamond Miller, Carly Samuelson, and a 2027 second-round pick to get her. Samuelson is currently rehabbing, so the Wings ended up waiving her to open up a roster spot, and Minnesota gets one of the league's best defenders. Coming off a most improved player season, this puts puts the Lynx right back in the conversation with the Liberty, especially after New York picked up Emma Meesseman. Carrington has made a name for herself since entering the league and has earned respect from her peers. She knows her role is defense, and during Unrivaled, she was working on her three-point shot, which has significantly improved. She has history with Courtney Williams and Natisha Heidemann from their time playing together in Connecticut. In her debut game for Minnesota, she showed she's definitely a plug-and-play player, and on a one-year, $200,000 deal, this could work out tremendously for Dijonai, potentially grabbing a ring and then entering free agency with a new CBA and probably a permanent home. A deep run in the playoff gives her a lot more time in front of more eyes to audition, not just for the Lynx, but for the other teams in the W. The Lynx executed this trade brilliantly, only giving up a second-round pick, an injured player, taking up a roster spot, and Diamond Miller, who they did want but wasn't filling the role they envisioned for her. And because we mentioned New York, they did end up signing Emma Meesseman, a WNBA champion from the Mystics in 2019. She's won 6 EuroLeague championships. She holds 6 different MVPs from various international leagues. At 6'4", she's very versatile at the power forward position, so she's given the Liberty a lot more firepower there. So I can definitely see the Liberty and the Lynx meeting again in the finals this year. And just to circle back to the Sun, they were my favorite team to watch in 2024. So again, I was very interested to see why they were dismantled in that fashion. I have a whole video where I zoom in as much as possible about it. The Mohegan tribe currently owns the Sun and operates the casino housing their arena. Over the past few years, the tribe attempted to build another casino overseas, but most of those plans didn't work out. So they decided selling the team would be their best option. Despite having money for a new casino, the Sun are one of the few teams without a dedicated practice facility or even plans to build one. This year, the co-owner of the Boston Celtics agreed to buy and relocate the Connecticut Sun for $325 million. Now, it still has to be approved by the WNBA Board of Governors, especially considering the cities that were already approved to receive WNBA teams. Boston could possibly be jumping the line for that $325 million. And then I also want to acknowledge A'ja Wilson reaching her 500th block. She's such a dynamic player and she's good at really everything on the floor. It's a good reminder that she dominates in the paint too, really making sure those guards and anybody driving to the basket is thinking twice about it. It's really unfortunate that the Aces have fallen from such heights, but A'ja continues to put in the work and she still posts impressive stat lines. I hope the Aces can regroup for her sake. They're definitely out of title contention this year, but with some offseason changes and free agency pickups, they'll likely transform again next year. And then also Alyssa Thomas, which is one of my favorite players to watch, made history by becoming the first player to record 3 consecutive triple-doubles. She's an absolute beast. She's been doing this since college, where she actually recorded 6 triple-doubles in her college career. She leads the WNBA in career triple-doubles and is the only player to record 15, 15, and 10 with 0 turnovers in WNBA history. In 2023, she was WNBA's peak performer and EuroLeague Defensive Player of the Year, barely missing out on the WNBA MVP award. She's one of the league's most aggressive and dynamic players. The Mercury acquired her in free agency along with Satu Sabali, instantly becoming a powerhouse. Underrated as they may be, they'll definitely pull off at least one playoff upset this year. And then just closing it out, very sad to hear about Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald. Sid tore her ACL and Ari broke a bone in her foot. It's definitely a tough blow for Indiana. I feel terrible for Sid. She was having an excellent year, filling in for Caitlin Clark, and now she's out for the remainder of the season, heading into free agency after this. So I know she's got a lot of questions and answers now with this type of injury. But making it through this far to the season, her and McDonald are at least guaranteed their contracts, so hopefully we hear from Sid soon. It's been a rough season for injuries overall. We've lost Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Nafisa Collier, and obviously we want all the stars back healthy. No one should rush back, so hopefully everyone takes their time. And yeah, that was definitely a tough blow for Indiana. All of the Sid and TP show over the last week, I feel so bad for her, so healthy recovery. That's all I have for today. Thank you if you made it this far. I definitely appreciate you. Hit that like button and subscribe for more WNBA content. Let me know how you feel about any trades, who did bad, who did good. Catch me in the next one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, players.